So what are some of the top mistakes we see that we're hoping you'll avoid that happen during divorce? Well, one of them is picking the process for your divorce before you meet with an attorney. So let me explain a little bit more about what I mean by that. A lot of people, very well-intentioned people, will select a divorce process and agree to that divorce process with their spouse before they talk to a lawyer about whether or not that process is most likely to work for them and to achieve their goals. So I would say, make sure you do the reverse order. Retain a lawyer that you trust, that's familiar with all of the divorce processes in Connecticut. They litigate, they do collaborative divorce, and they do mediation, or people in their firm do. And then share your actual goals. Don't self-diagnose the solution to them. So here's what I mean. If your goal is to keep your divorce amicable, don't self-diagnose that the way to keep your divorce amicable is a collaborative divorce because your brother did a collaborative divorce and it stayed amicable. Don't do that. Collaborative divorce is great. It might just not be the best way for you. We want to find the best way for you. Meet with your lawyer and say, it's really important to me to keep my divorce amicable. Your lawyer will hopefully say, tell me more about that, which is a different way to say why, right? Why do you want to keep your divorce amicable? It's really important to me that we keep things harmonious for the children. Great. Now I know so much more about what amicable means to you than I did when I was only working with the word amicable. And as we talk through it, maybe collaborative divorce is perfect for you. Maybe mediation would be better. Maybe there's something that makes me think you should really strongly consider litigating. It doesn't matter what the process is as much as it matters that you get real clear insights about what process is most likely to achieve and set you up for success on the things that matter the most to you. Here's another mistake that I see people make about divorce, and it's really not a mistake they make. It's a mistaken understanding about how things work. So let's talk about it. This is a belief that the divorce process itself is a way to get, I'm going to say it in a positive spin and a more negative spin. The more negative spin is revenge. The more positive spin is justice. If you are thinking that you are going to feel justice or a sense of revenge in the context of your divorce, by which I mean someone's going to say your spouse is a bad person or had bad behavior and you are a good person and exhibited good behavior, that's probably not going to happen. I don't want you to expect something that's going to come out of your divorce that isn't likely to come out of it. I think that the single most important thing that you can think of throughout your divorce is, what are my goals for myself? And how can I behave and act in a way that I can be proud of? As long as you keep an internal focus, you are going to go in a confident, controlled direction towards your future. If you allow for an external locus of control, I need the judge to punish my spouse. I need my spouse to suffer the way I suffered because of them. Then you're ceding control over your own future to external forces. The judge, the process, your spouse. Keep your focus on your future and what you want for your future. Let them. Another mistake that people who have children and who are divorcing sometimes experience is the belief that their preferred parenting style is the only preferred parenting style. And this can be really hard because it comes from a place of really wanting the best for your children. I just want to make sure people know that generally speaking, as long as the children are going to be safe and cared for and have healthy relationships with both of their parents, courts in Connecticut are most likely going to let those two parents parent in their own individual styles. Sometimes that means that snacks that are allowed in one house aren't allowed in the other. Sometimes that means it's difficult to decide about private school or which private school or public school or where to go to college. Sometimes it's bigger issues, sometimes it's smaller issues. But again, as long as the kids are safe and healthy, post-divorce, expect that each parent is going to be able to parent in a style that is most resonates with that parent. So there's going to be a lot of freedom for both parents, for you and your co-parent, to be the kind of parents that you think is the best kind of parent for your kids. Another mistake that people make when they're going through their divorce, and this is kind of a big one, is they don't prioritize. I don't know if you've heard the business adage that you can have it fast and cheap, but not well. You can have it high quality and quickly, but it'll be expensive, that there's a balance between these three competing priorities. And in the context of divorce, I think of it as like your goals about the outcomes of your divorce, how property division is done, alimony, parenting outcomes. And then you're probably going to have some goals around how long your divorce takes, or how much your divorce costs, or how much time you're willing to spend fighting in court in front of a judge or waiting for a court date, how long you want to be in it. And I think that the more we can guide our clients who are going through this to understand they're not just going to have to prioritize between alimony and child support and parenting, but also between those objectives and how much they invest in the divorce in terms of both legal fees and time. And I think that if you don't think about this in advance, it's a real mistake, because you're kind of left thinking you want it all. And when you're in the weeds of making decisions, you're trying to decide whether to resolve your divorce or take something to a hearing, for example. It's really helpful to have pre-thought about how you'll prioritize these things. Are you willing to take less retirement to be done? Are you willing to invest in what it would take to go to a hearing in order to get the resolution on alimony that's really important to you? Whatever you decide is fine. It's not that one priority is right and the other is wrong. It's that it will help you if you think about this before you're in the middle of the decision making. If you pre-think about your goals and how you're going to use criteria to decide what's most important, the earlier you start thinking about that, the better. And the more likely you are to be confident, control, and satisfied with the decisions you're making. There are a lot of mistakes that you can make during your divorce. And in fact, you will make some mistakes during your divorce. You'll say something you didn't mean, or you'll agree to something you wish you hadn't. That's okay. But what we want is for you to avoid the big mistakes so that you can be confident in how you conducted yourself during your divorce and in the decisions you made.